Right now, small business owners across multiple industries are receiving an official-looking message that appears to come from Interpol. The message says their business is under investigation. It says criminal activity has been detected connected to their company. It creates an immediate, visceral sense of legal jeopardy. And it tells them to open an attached file for the details of the investigation. That file is ransomware. The moment it is opened, it begins encrypting every file on the computer, every document, every invoice, every customer record, every piece of data the business depends on to function, locked behind encryption that the attacker controls, with a demand for payment to get it back. This campaign is active right now, targeting small and medium-sized businesses in agriculture, legal services, pharmaceuticals, and other sectors. And it is working, not because the technical components are sophisticated in ways that are impossible to defend against, but because the psychological components are designed to make you open that file before your logic has time to catch up with your fear. We are going to take this campaign apart completely. The psychology, the technical mechanics, why your business is a target, and exactly what to do if you or someone you know encounters it. The psychology. First, why Interpol works as a hook. The attackers behind this campaign did not choose to impersonate Interpol by accident. The choice is deliberate, and it reflects a sophisticated understanding of human psychology under stress. Authority creates deference. When most people receive communication from what appears to be a law enforcement or government agency, particularly an international one with significant perceived power, their default response is compliance rather than skepticism. We are conditioned from childhood to treat official authority as legitimate and to respond to its demands. That conditioning is difficult to override in the moment of initial contact, especially when the communication is crafted to look official. Urgency disables evaluation. The message implies that there is a legal matter requiring immediate attention, criminal investigation, imminent legal jeopardy, time pressure. These elements are designed to prevent the kind of slow, deliberate thinking that would cause most people to pause and verify whether the communication is real before taking action. When we feel urgency, we act. The attackers know this. Fear narrows focus. When you receive a message that appears to say you or your business are under criminal investigation, your attention narrows to that problem. You're not thinking about whether a legitimate agency would contact you this way. You're not thinking about what kinds of files legitimate agencies attach to their communications. You're thinking about the legal problem the message is describing. The fear is the distraction. This combination, authority plus urgency plus fear, produces what security researchers describe as a primal override. The rational evaluation that would catch the red flags is bypassed by an emotional response that prioritizes immediate action over careful analysis. This is not a weakness unique to unsophisticated or easily fooled people. It is a feature of human cognition under stress that affects intelligent, careful people across all backgrounds. The campaign targets it deliberately because it works. The technical mechanics, how the attack actually works, understanding the technical components of this campaign removes the mystery and makes the red flags recognizable. The attack begins with a message containing a link to a file hosted on Proton Drive. This choice of hosting platform is calculated. Proton Drive is a legitimate, well-regarded cloud storage service with a strong privacy reputation. Security tools that scan incoming links for known malicious domains will not flag a Proton Drive link as suspicious, because Proton Drive is not a suspicious domain. The attackers are using a trusted service as camouflage. The linked file is a password-protected archive. This is the second layer of evasion, and it is equally deliberate. Password-protected archives cannot be scanned by most email security systems or antivirus tools without the password. The contents of the archive are invisible to automated security scanning. The attacker provides the password in the message, which means the victim can open the archive, but the security tools cannot inspect what is inside it before the victim does. Inside the archive is a file that appears to be a video. The file name suggests video content. The icon may suggest video content. But the file is an executable program, not a video file. It has been renamed and configured to display as a video file while containing the ransomware code that will execute when it is opened. The moment the victim double-clicks what they believe is a video about their investigation, the ransomware launches, it begins encrypting files on the local machine. And if the infected computer has access to network shares or cloud-connected storage, it attempts to encrypt those as well. The process typically takes minutes to hours depending on how much data is accessible. When the encryption is complete, the victim receives a ransom note. This is where the campaign's evolution from a traditional ransomware becomes significant. Rather than a fixed ransom demand with a payment address, the note directs the victim to contact the attackers through the TOX encrypted messaging protocol. TOX provides encrypted, anonymous communication, and the attackers use it not just to protect their identity, but to conduct a negotiation. The negotiation is personalized. The attackers, in their talks conversations, work to assess how much the data is worth to the specific victim. How large is the business? How critical is the encrypted data? How desperate is the owner? How long can they wait before the data loss begins, costing them more than the ransom? This shift from automated fixed-price demands to personalized negotiation is a deliberate professionalization of the extortion. The attackers size up each victim individually and set the price accordingly. A small agricultural business with encrypted irrigation management data and upcoming planting decisions faces a different urgency than a law firm with encrypted client files and approaching legal deadlines. The attackers understand this and price accordingly. Why small businesses are the target? Large corporations have security teams. They have dedicated IT staff monitoring network activity. They have enterprise security tools, incident response plans, and often cyber insurance with specific breach protocols. They are harder targets that require more effort to successfully attack and more resources to respond to when an attack is detected. Small and medium-sized businesses typically have none of this. A small agricultural business, a regional law firm, an independent pharmaceutical distributor. These businesses may have one person who handles IT alongside other responsibilities, or they may have contracted a small managed IT service provider whose monitoring is less comprehensive than what an enterprise security team provides. They are more likely to have staff who have not received specific security training and who would not recognize the specific red flags of this campaign without being told what to look for. They are more likely to have limited backup systems. They are more likely to experience existential business threat from a ransomware attack that encrypts their core operational data. And they are more likely to pay. Not because they are foolish, but because the math of paying a ransom versus the cost of losing months of business data, plus the disruption of attempting recovery, can make payment seem rational, particularly when the encrypted data contains client records or legal documents that cannot be recreated. The diversity of industries being targeted reflects the campaign's broad net approach. The attackers are not specialists in any particular sector. They are specialists in the psychology and the delivery mechanism, and they are deploying that specialization across any small business category that fits the target profile of vulnerable data and limited security resources. The red flags that should stop you. Knowing the attack's mechanics makes its red flags recognizable. Here is what to look for and why each element should trigger immediate skepticism. Interpol does not contact businesses by email about criminal investigations. No major international law enforcement agency initiates formal contact about active criminal investigations by emailing the subject of the investigation with an attached file. If you are genuinely under criminal investigation, you receive formal legal notification through official government processes. An email asking you to open a file for your investigation details is not how any legitimate law enforcement agency operates anywhere in the world. Legitimate agencies do not send password-protected archives. A password-protected archive from an unknown sender, regardless of how legitimate the accompanying message appears, is a signal that the contents are designed to evade security scanning. Ask yourself why a legitimate agency would need to password-protect a file sent to inform you of an investigation. Video files do not have executables inside archives. If a file inside a password-protected archive has a name suggesting video content but ends in an executable extension, or if it runs when you double-click it in ways that a video file does not, stop immediately. Do not proceed. Many message combining authority, urgency, and a file attachment should trigger a hard pause before action. Treat the combination as a pattern, not just the individual elements. Fear plus urgency plus attachment equals stop and verify before doing anything else. Verification must use contact information you find independently. If you receive a message claiming to be from any agency or organization, and you want to verify whether it is real, do not use the contact information provided in the message. Search for the agency or organization independently and contact them through the official channels you find through your own research. A scammer who provides a fake contact number in a fake message will have someone answer that number to confirm the fake message is real. If you have already been hit, the crisis protocol. If you or someone in your organization has opened a suspicious file and your files are now encrypted or behaving abnormally, the sequence of your next actions matters. Disconnect from the network immediately. Unplug the Ethernet cable. Turn off Wi-Fi. If you can, turn off the computer. The goal is to stop the ransomware from spreading to other devices on your network or encrypting additional files. Every second a ransomware program runs while connected to a network is additional damage. Disconnecting stops the spread, even if it does not undo the damage already done. Do not pay the ransom immediately. The instinct under stress is to make the problem stop as quickly as possible, and payment seems like it accomplishes this. But payment does not guarantee decryption, does not prevent the attackers from demanding more, and funds the continuation of the campaign against other businesses. Before paying, Determine whether your backups can restore your data and whether law enforcement or a reputable cybersecurity firm can assist. Run security scans from clean devices and change passwords. Log into your accounts from a device you know is not infected, and change passwords for any accounts that the infected computer had access to. If the attacker had any time on your system, credentials may have been captured. Contact a cybersecurity professional with ransomware response experience before attempting recovery steps you are uncertain about. Amateur recovery attempts can sometimes make data unrecoverable that professionals could have recovered. Report the incident. Contact your national cybersecurity agency, your country's equivalent of the FBI or relevant law enforcement, and report what happened. This information helps law enforcement track these campaigns, identify the actors behind them, and potentially disrupt the operations. You may feel embarrassed about having been targeted or having clicked something, but do not let that stop you from reporting. These campaigns target intelligent, capable people, and your report helps protect others. The defense that prevents this. Most of the successful defenses against this campaign are behavioral rather than technical, which means they cost nothing and require only awareness and habit. Slow down when pressured. The most reliable defense against urgency-based attacks is the conscious decision to slow down when you feel pressure to act immediately. If a message creates urgency about a legal or financial matter, the pressure itself is information. Take the time to verify independently before taking any action the message requests. Never open attachments from unexpected sources without verification. If you receive an unexpected attachment, even from a seemingly legitimate source, verify that the sender actually sent it through a separate communication channel before opening it. Back up your critical data regularly, and keep backups disconnected from your main network. A ransomware attack that encrypts your main system is survivable if your backups are clean and current. A ransomware attack that also reaches your backup storage is catastrophic. Offline backups, drives disconnected from the network when not in use, are immune to network spreading ransomware. Enable multi-factor authentication on every account that supports it. If an attacker captures your password through malware or credential theft, multi-factor authentication prevents them from using that password to access your accounts. Train everyone in your business to recognize the pattern. One informed person who recognizes the attack is useful. An entire organization that recognizes it is a meaningful defense. Share this information with your team. The campaign targeting small businesses with fake Interpol messages is active, and it is working. But it works specifically on the people who do not know what it looks like. Now you know what it looks like. Share this with every small business owner you know.